Hey guys, Pat and Ben here at MBS CrossFit. We have a short video where we're going to talk about 3 points for better rowing. And then we're also going to point out a few common faults and how to fix them. So first off, step number one, point number one is that we need to know how to set up on a rower, how to get into the rower and set up, get our body position right. So the first thing you want to do is set up your foot pads. So right here, Ben's going to put his feet into the foot pads, making sure that his full foot can land on top of the pad. You wouldn't want his toes up over here. So these are adjustable and can be moved up or back for bigger or smaller feet. Once he gets his feet in there, he's going to pull the straps tight. And that's really it. He's just sitting on this seat right here. He's going to reach up and grab the handle. Okay, and so kind of the big things with the body position here is that you want to be sitting up nice and tall. A lot of times what I'll do is put these screens up here to kind of remind people to sit up tall. Back is flat, straight and flat. A lot of times people want to round the back out. So show that. Okay, and so we don't want to do that. We want to sit up really tall, rigid. All right, for a lot of people, that in itself is pretty challenging. So Ben has this catch position where he's going to be coming in here, catching, and then driving back out. Shins are about vertical. His arms are extended out, parallel with this chain, which is parallel with the ground right here. And then from this position, he's going to drive his legs out, then open his hips, and then finish the stick back here where the stick is actually going to make contact with the sternum. So we want to maximize the distance that this chain is traveling and amount of pressure that we're putting on the flywheel here. So that's a long distance and we want that. And to come back, it's going to be exact opposite: arms, hips, and then legs. So this is the order. So this is point number 2. So we've got our setup in the foot pads. You've got all this sitting up tall, rigid spine. So point number 2 is doing the correct order of the legs, hips, and then arms. So legs extend out, hips open slightly, then go to the arms. Obviously, we're going to want this to be done nice and fluid. So Ben's going to put together a few strokes here. So it's nice and seamless. Go ahead, stop. So he's back to his catch position. So that leg, hip, and arm is nice and seamless. And then coming back, it's the same thing, but in the opposite: arms, hips, and then legs. And so the third and final point here is we want to drive 1 count out and then come back on a 2 count. So kind of like what you just saw, he was driving strongly, 1 out, 1, 2 back. And the idea there is that we're going to rest and recover, big drive. Rest and recover, big drive. And that makes our rowing a lot more efficient. So a couple more times here. Good. So, which leads to one of our first faults. Okay, this is super common, is for people to not understand the 1 to 2 work to rest ratio, but they go 1 to 1. And so this is what that looks like. So going 1 to 1, 1 to 1, essentially he's just doing a lot more work and he's not putting big pulls on the rower. So it's less efficient. The next common fault here is from this catch position to not properly use your legs and then hips. So what happens is we get a hip slide. Okay? Do a couple of those. So you can kind of see his hips shooting out the back, and thus it's pressure not being applied to the stick and to the flywheel. And then the third and final most common fault is people bending their arms and using their arms to pull before using their legs. And so our arms are smaller than our legs, so we want to use our legs and hips first, then finish with the arms. And so we want to do it in the correct order. So he's going to straighten his arms. I'm going to do it right. There you go. Cool, there you have it. 3 points to improve your rowing, and also 3 common faults and how you can clean them up.